I know Bulls fan on the YouTube chat is down in Florida. I think. I don't know if Ed on the YouTube chat. They're both saying that orange drink is still alive and well in the U.S. I was just there. I'm going back next month. Now, obviously, I have to go to a McDonald's and look like a total idiot and be like, do you have the orange drink?
They have a little more flexible FDA regulations in the United States than we do in Canada.
Yes, they do. Remember, I can't believe it's not butter. I remember when I moved down and I was 18, I moved down there and I was like, what? I can spray this everywhere? And I'm like, why don't we have this in Canada? And then I think it was my sister. She's like, I don't know. I'm on a diet. Bring it back for me. It's because it's full of garbage. Anywho, Arash, you must have
It took us an extra 5 years. It took us an extra 5 years to get Red Bull just because it's so toxic down there.
So I'm going to sound ancient here, fellas, when I tell you the price. When I was in university, I went to a small school, Bishop's University in the middle of nowhere, Quebec. Like 2,000, 2,200 undergraduate students, something like that. It was a party school. I'll just preface it with that. But in those days, McDonald's on Sundays had 69-cent cheeseburgers.
Oh, mama.
On hangover Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
So... like whenever someone's parents would come to town, they'd like leave some cash behind, whatever. Like, you know, I live with 5 other guys, so there's 6 of us, and we'd go to McDonald's, we'd order 100 cheeseburgers for Sunday.
Yeah. Mrs. S's thing is, I told you this before, I think, is the McDonald's cheeseburger charcuterie board. When we have to go to a potluck,
there you go.
It's like, yeah, and who? You ever go back in time when someone would order just the hamburger in the white wrapping? What are you, insane? The cheese is so bad for you.
The yellow wrap.
What are you doing? Who are you trying to kid? I'm off cheese.
Who are you fooling?
It's not even cheese. You can still be off cheese and have that cheese.
Yeah,
I'll never forget going in there with 2 other guys, and we ordered 100.
Yeah.
Awesome. To bring back for everyone.
Crazy.
And the look on the cashier's face of like, you know, because it's a Sunday, they think it's going to be quiet. There's only 2 of them working. Yeah, we'll have 100, please. And then they started limiting after a little while. It was like a maximum of 4 per person.
And you guys just show up there reeking of Lucky Lager from the night before. And I gave us 100.
And
we're gonna get 100.
Don't forget the regret, Barney.
Yeah.
We're also reeking of regret.
How much money do you have? I don't know. I'm going to buy 100 cheeseburgers.
You're like digging under, you know, couch cushions, like looking for loonies and tuna. Hey, like a toonie was a big deal, you know?
Oh, the $2 bill. That's a sexy looking bill. They should bring that pink thing back. That was a thing of beauty. Hey, did you guys ever order an animal burger from A&W? Harry, I know you would have crushed one of those, wouldn't you have?
No.
5 patties.
Like the Monster Burger.
Animal burger, 5 patties. I thought it was an old wives' tale until I was in Lloydminster at a Bantam hockey tournament. And my first year Bantam, the last thing I should have been eating was more cheeseburgers. But I ordered a Monster Burger from the A&W in Lloydminster. Sure enough, 5 patties.
It's a lot of meat.
You know, and all us old heads are saying, hey, look, we ended up okay. And I'm like, no, but you're missing something. We're not okay. Like, that's the thing. Like, we're loose. I don't know how, why, where. But I certainly can tell you when some moments along the way led to this.
I got a doctor's appointment next week because the last 2 weeks I've been having weird chest pains. You might want to pull this tape if anything happens, Colson. I was down in Phoenix. I was sleeping on my one side, and I'm like, this isn't good. I've had a lot of stress in my life the last 2 weeks. I'm like, this doesn't feel really good. So then what did we do that morning? We went to Waffle House.
Yeah. Just so you need extra syrup, bacon on the side.
No, man, their white gravy is unbelievable on their hash browns. Okay, I want to ask you, Olympics, obviously it's only a few days away. We could probably talk about it forever because it's a slow time in sports. First, I think I saw you on social media or something. What's your stance on it being 3-on-3 to decide that hockey game?
So I'm against it, but it's not because of the result. Like the moment that horn went off in the third period, That was my take. That this, like an Olympic champion, cannot be determined in 3-on-3. It's not hockey. It's not what you've played for the previous 60 minutes. You know, to decide a football game, we're not all of a sudden going to go play 7-on-7. It's not the same game. And so whether or not Canada would have won or lost, it has nothing to do with that. And then today, the IIHF, Chris Johnston from The Athletic reported this, that the IIHF is sticking their heels in the ground. They're not even going to have a discussion about this. They're going to continue with this moving forward. What are we doing? Like, I get in regular season, you want to fit within a TV window, all those kinds of things. But a gold medal game to determine an Olympic champion, that is not the way you go about your business.
I think the thing that bugs me about it is that they keep citing like the closing ceremonies and it can't go on forever. Like they make it sound like it's going to go on for 3 days if they allow it to go sudden death overtime 5-on-5. Like, so it takes an extra hour. Like it's not that big a deal. I hate that argument that's the position they seem to be taking is that, well, we got the closing ceremonies. Well, then move the gold medal final a day earlier. Like there's so many workarounds that this is a hill that they're just like, nope, it's where it is and we're not changing it. Just seems a little short-sighted.
No, it seems a lot short-sighted. It seems absurd. Like you're deciding medals, you're deciding histories, you're deciding legacies. And look, we all know the Olympics are a TV product. That's what they really are. Fully understood. But I agree with you, Harry, man. Like if it's about that, then do it this way. They didn't do it 3-on-3 Vancouver 2010 and everything ended up okay when it went to overtime. So
yeah, but they did 4-on-4.
4-on-4,
which is even
fine with.
I feel that even more weird. It's like, what? When do you ever see 4-on-4 unless it's a rec tournament in Vonda? I don't know. But you've been around a lot of Olympics. Like, how does the IOC operate? Are they so strong-headed? How and where does the IIHF and the IOC, are they all together? And how does it all work?
The IOC is not going to tell the IIHF or any international sports federation guys how to run their sport and govern their sport. What they will tell the IIHF is, at X time, your game, your event needs to be over. So it's up to the IIHF to then decide how things are going to proceed. All the IOC cares about is that somebody's going to win, is that they're cashing the check, and that the closing ceremony is going to start on time without conflict. That's it. Literally, that's it. So this comes down to the IIHF. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. To me, why not have the women's gold medal game the same day as the men's gold medal game, or the day before? Why are there so many days in between? Why are we trying to put a square peg in a round hole and try and jam everything in? I get it to gouge. It is the Olympics. But this is ultimately the decision of the governing body of hockey internationally. And they're hell-bent on this, and it makes no sense.
I think
that's the problem, is that you can't come up with a logical reason as to why to do it.
Right.
I was sitting there Sunday morning, and then when the 3-on-3 started, and I'm like, well, that's too bad. But I think everyone knew going in. And then I'm like, wow, the closing ceremonies. Is it TV time? And then I started thinking, I'm like, poor other networks this morning. Like, especially in Canada, like, who else was watching anything else on TV besides that? I was like, I should flip around here as a joke. It's just when that Ontario commercial came on.
It's like the Super Bowl, right? Like, who's doing counter programming at 7 o'clock on the Sunday?
Yeah. When you look at the Olympics, though, overall, and all sports, and how Canada did, and 21 medals, 5 golds, I'll say only, nowhere near previous years. Like, what's your takeaway from the whole, thing?
like it's teetering on the brink of disaster.
Oof.
And that's not without hyperbole, guys. Like let's go back. Okay, so 21 this year. The previous Olympics was 26. The prior Winter Olympics to that was 29. Like this is now kind of downwards. And you look at who was winning those medals. Like 10 of the 21, first of all, came from speed skating. All of them Olympic vets in either their second, but for the most part, third, some fourth and fifth Olympic Games. There's no pipeline coming of athletes to really kind of take this on, take this over. And so the total number of medals is reducing while the number of sports is actually increasing. There has to be a decision made by the public sector, by the government, of whether or not this is going to be a priority for us. Because what's happening now, keeping the kind of cash distribution the same as it was in 2010, how far did your dollar go in 2010 when you went to McDonald's or a grocery store or travel? Well, if it's going to be the same amount of funding, guess what? It's a lot less than it was 16 years ago and moving ahead.
You talked about on this, and I think you were the first one I actually heard talking about a lady by the name of Summer McIntosh, and it was, Summer Olympics, and you talked about it, and then we saw what she did, and it was amazing. There's really no brand, there's no name, there's no sizzle like that besides our hockey team on the winter side in Canada.
And this is part of the problem, is that when you don't have the next gen kind of coming, the next gen pushing, when you don't have funding for development programs, you don't have funding for facilities. I made this point actually, Barney, last week, is that you look at, 10 of our 21 medals are speed skating, right? So speed skating, we have an Olympic oval in Calgary because we hosted the 88 Olympics. That place is literally falling apart. That was 44 years ago.
Yeah.
We do not have domestically the infrastructure right now. And there's talk, the Canadian Olympic Committee wants to get another, like they wanted to have a bid for Calgary 2026. The citizens of Calgary in a referendum shot that down. They're going to try and bid for another one. But we need more resources for our athletes. We need more resources to get them competing. We had a medalist who actually is sticking around Europe for the next few weeks before the World Championships because he can crash on a buddy's couch. And then he won't have to pay for a flight home and then a flight back and to stay in a hotel. This is how, as a country, we're treating the best of our best.
Going out and getting cheeseburgers.
I don't know if they're 69-cent cheeseburgers, right? I mean, that's the next thing. Jen Heil, who's the chef de mission, she won a silver medal at Vancouver 2010, I think, in the moguls. Jen Heil said, our athletes are literally going to grocery stores and their teammates and their coaches are like, where's your produce? And the athletes are like, I can't afford the produce. And these are high performance athletes. What are we doing as a country? Like, come on.
I think part of the problem is accessibility, right? If I'm a young kid from Shaunavon, Saskatchewan, and I want to do biathlon, where am I even beginning that road? I think there's not our country is so huge and so spread out that to do those things, they're just not readily available. And I guess that comes down to making it funding as well. There's not mountains to ski in every province. They don't have the means. And two, I guess it also comes down to what is the public's interest? Like, just playing devil's advocate here, like, is the public,
sure.
Does the public care? Does the public care that we don't do great at the Olympics? With cost of living and the cost of groceries and cost of everything and your dollar having to go further, are people willing to give that money to support somebody to, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate here, to play a game, to go and ski and represent Canada? Like, is that have our priorities as a general society just shifted so far away that the Olympics are nice, but you're going to do it on your own thing. Like we don't have the means to help you. I mean, you still have the corporate sponsorship, which should be enough when you look at how much money corporate.
Yeah, there's nowhere near enough. There's no appetite corporately because all they care about is quarterly shareholders. So this is what's going to happen, is that if there isn't support, any athlete we're going to end up sending to international events are going to be country club, silver spoon,
cake eaters
who can afford it. Yeah, who can afford it. Look, and Harry, I hear what you're saying, but I just don't buy it. Alphonso Davies is from Edmonton, Alberta. He is the best left back in soccer in the world. Tell me about outdoors in Edmonton from Halloween until Easter. I grew up in rural Nova Scotia. There's this kid, Wyatt Sanford, a boxer. Wyatt's from Kennetcook, Nova Scotia. When he competed at Paris 2024, I did a little piece on him. His municipality has a population of under 1,000. They have a little park, and people brought lawn chairs, and they had a bed sheet out of the band shell, and they just streamed his fights there. People came from all around. Wyatt learned how to box in his backyard. Like no one's saying, hey, you're going to start when you're 8 years old and you're going to need all of these things. But once you reach a high performance level, that's when you're going to need it. And we don't have it. We don't have it.
Those are outliers, though. Wouldn't you rather it be the norm where you've got a biathlon program in your city that can start cultivating those kids rather than have to rely on one kid rising up from thousands and thousands?
But Harry, this is not professional sports, and this is the beauty of the Olympics. The beauty of the Olympics is that anybody can do it. The beauty of the Olympics is that the majority are what we would consider to be outliers. Nobody really gets into a development program until they're 14, 15, 16 years old. This is not hockey. This is not high-performance sport until a certain age. There are a lot of people who get started in some of these sports later in life. Some of them fall into it by accident. Some of them were doing one sport and then they just fell into another and went on with it. Jesse Lumsden was a multiple Olympian in bobsled. Jesse Lumsden carried the football for McMaster University as a running back and played in the CFL. The beauty of the Olympics is that it's not what we think it is. It is that it's all about community. It's all about people coming from all over.
I think my take on it is I agree with both of you, but I think having a 14-year-old turning 15 and a 12 turning 13, and I see maybe not so much them, but I see some of their peers and where they are now focused on one sport and their training is focused, and we're talking supplements, we're talking diet and all that, and to each their own. And if you have the means, go nuts, do whatever you got to do. And then you see the kid that has not even a sniff of that and is eating the cheeseburgers or the ramen noodles and all that. And at some point, it's like, well, you're going to get passed. And we see that at the Olympic level with these other countries. And we're seeing it now. It's like you talked about the guy sleeping on the couch. Or I think the most embarrassing story that would have came out is we bought a used bobsled that you mentioned from Germany. It's like, you hide that story, burn that. Like that actually came out. I'm like, what is going on? We couldn't get some sponsor to, how much is a bobsled run? Colson, look up a used bobsled.
Arnie, the answer to that question is no.
Jeez.
And that's the unfortunate part. Is the answer to that question has been, continues to be, shows to be no. Like, let's just take a step back from it. Let's not even talk about the Winter Olympics. Let's talk about summer. Like when you think about what the Olympics are to me, bigger, stronger, faster, it's track and field, it's weightlifting, it's wrestling. Like way back at the beginning of the Olympics, the barbaric stuff of fee fi fo fum. So you kind of put them all together and like shot put. Like anybody can take a rock and throw it as far as they can. Like that's really the genesis of what that sport was. It's literally something anybody could do.
Who's picturing someone just picking up a rock and throwing it now and that being an Olympic sport? I think that'd be awesome.
But what do you have? Track and field is mainly about running. It's about jumping, and it's about throwing. Okay? So the world champion in women's shot put going into Paris 2024, the last Summer Olympics, is a woman by the name of Sarah Mitten. Sarah Mitten is from Brooklyn, Nova Scotia, the outskirts of Liverpool. Sarah grew up, her father literally hammer and nail a wooden slab in their backyard, dug out a little circle, and that's where Sarah learned how to throw the shot put and practice throwing the shot put. It wasn't until she ended up going to university at the University of Windsor. It wasn't until her 4th year at the University of Windsor she ended up on the team that went to the World University Games, and then she got into the high development program. So I hear about sports specialization. It literally might be the stupidest thing that goes on in kids sport. And Barney, I think I've mentioned this on the show before, but I think it's worth reiterating as we're having this conversation. Because about 10 years ago, maybe a little more, 12 years ago, not that long, we're not talking about fee fi fo fum. There was this dude who was an all-state infielder in baseball. I think he played shortstop. He was a middle infielder. And he was a point guard in high school. And he happened to play quarterback. And then he went to college. And his first year in college, he played football and he played baseball. There was no meathead coach at age 9, 10, 11. His dad would have told him to shove it if they said such a thing. That said, you have to do this. Now, what happened to that kid? His name is Patrick Mahomes. Like, it worked out okay that at age 8 and 9 and 10, nobody put him on this, well, you have to play travel baseball or there's no opportunity for you.
It's tough. And yet, like, until you have kids and you see it, and it is very much are we going to let them then just get past? Are we? Because you can never go back. It's not a video game. You can't blow out the cartridge and put it back in. And then so in 6 months from now, you go, are we making the right decision? Like, it is intense. I've been there. I went the other way where I'm like, no, they don't need to do it. Don't need to. Don't go do something else. But then you live with that fear of like, well, shoot. Are they going to get lapped? Are they going to get passed? Are we not giving them the opportunity? Why are we doing this? And all that. So let me just tell you this one. How about this? Sunday's game. Probably the most impactful player on the ice. Never played tier 1 rep hockey. Never went on a travel team in hockey. Never made a development camp. But he played on his high school team, and then he went to college, and then he won a Vezina, and then he won Olympic gold. And that's Connor Hellebuck. There isn't one way to do it. And just because there's somebody coaching 11-year-olds who tell you something doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. Yeah, no, I totally agree that the only rebuttal and the devil's advocate thing on that would be that are you willing to take the risk? Is it an odds thing? Do you play the odds? And a lot of parents will go, I'm going to play the odds and I'm going to do this. Not that I agree with it. It's a very slippery slope, and I get why people do it. I don't know. I don't totally agree with it. There's literally something coming up here that I said, no, they don't need to do it. And partially because I'm a cheap Ukrainian sometimes. And other facts, it's like, no, they can go golf. They can play flag football. They can fish. Go do other things. I think it's, and my wife, more her, she's smarter. It's like their brains need to do other things to develop other parts of their brain. They're still a kid. Their brain's still developing. Like, the fishing thing is doing something to the brain, and just like a golf is. It's just not always like, boom, let's go, let's lift, let's jump, let's do all. Anyway, are we even on the air? I'm going off now. I'm going off. Hey, I can't find a used bobsled for sale.
Okay.
Colson, I don't know if you did, but does it sound right that they run about $200,000?
Brand new ones, yeah.
$200K? Come on. We couldn't get someone to like $200K. I know it's a lot of money, but you can't throw sponsorship on it at the Olympics. I guess when you get back, you can do things. Okay, let's turf the Olympics for a sec, because I want to ask you about football.
Yeah.
And the and Glenn Suter's coming on in hour 5, and I don't know what he's going to say, but he is pissed something fierce about the UFL.
What's he mad about?
I don't know. What do you know about this league? What is happening? I haven't been following it at all.
So they're trying different things. Among them, so the UFL is spring football. It's 4 down, tackle, outdoors, etc.
They're playing drunk and they're eating cheeseburgers. Now, I would watch that.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's the aftermath of the XFL, and they use that league as a testing ground, really, that the NFL has. That spider cam that we see. I mean, that was one of the byproducts, but they're really kind of rolling the dice. They're shaking things up this year. If you kick a field goal of 60 plus yards this season, it counts as 4 points. Not 3. They've removed the tush push altogether because they just want to see what teams are going to do, what they can do. If you go inside the opponent's territory, if you cross the 50-yard line, you can't punt. Now, I think this one's really interesting of all the ones that they've tried. After a touchdown, okay, you can kick an extra point, but this time from the 33-yard line, so it's a 50-yard field goal. That counts as 1. You can go for a 2-point conversion, balls at the 2-yard line, or you can go for 3 from the 8-yard line. So it's changing things up. It's trying different things. It's throwing things against the wall. And what I find amazing about it is that nobody is calling into question the morality of the institution of the game and the history of American football and what it stands for, just because they're trying a few different things.
I like it. Now watch the text line light up here. Harry, what do you think about all that?
I won't watch. I don't care. I could care less. It's not going to last. It's the same thing, XFL, like, okay, they had a run to the ball at the center line to start the game. It lasted a game. Like, it's dumb. Who
what
cares?
A video. What a video that is.
Yeah, like, this league, if it lasts 3 years, I'd be shocked. Pull the tape. I bet I'll take any money that this league does not last more than 3 years. There's not a chance.
Well, they're already in their third season, so you're saying this is it.
They're not. It's not in this incantation. They're not in their 3rd year. It's a bastardized version of 4 other leagues. So this is their 1st year.
They merged in 24. This is their 3rd year.
Yeah. No, not interested.
I'm not either. I'll watch one game.
Could care less.
I want to see someone go for 3.
Yeah, me too.
What
the one I like, I actually don't mind if it's a 60-plus yard field goal, it counts as 4 points. I don't mind that one, actually.
Where's the windiest stadium? And how key is that 4th quarter, which way the wind is going? So no tush pushes in this one?
No tush pushes in this one. The NFL, by the way, will not be banning the tush push for next season. It's going to remain in effect for at least the 2026 season. That just came out of the combine.
I heard that this morning. Do you think that if the Eagles would have won the Super Bowl, would it be a different story?
That is a very good question. Yeah, that's a great question, Barney. I mean, the topic just died once the Eagles were eliminated.
I know.
And it's amazing, like, so much of football is a copycat league, and yet nobody can effectively copycat what the Eagles do, which is also amazing because the guy who's actually snapping the ball, like the center, the tush, in the tush push, it's a different tush. And it still hasn't made an impact. Philly can still execute it well, and nobody else can do it even close to as well as they do.
Yeah.
interchangeable tushes. That's what we have in football today.
Wow, we went long here today. Yeah. Okay. This is good. Lots to unpack. Everybody who's craving a cheeseburger, raise your hand.
Always.
Oh, man. It's so good. All right, Arash, talk to you Thursday, bud.
See you, boys.